Alright guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Tonight we are out here. I finished up that box. We'll go over that in a little bit after my phone charges up a little bit. Because you know it wouldn't be normal, my phone wasn't dying. We're starting a new little project we got here. We got some 99 Jeep Cherokee doors. We're going to be doing a nice little simple pod situation on them. It's going to house an 8-inch EXO DD mid-range, a 6.5 EXO DD mid-range, and a 2-inch, I think it's a B4 Super Tweak. But we're gonna get those laid out on here, or get it taped up, get some resin on it. But I'll go ahead and show you guys what I've done, and then I'm gonna put my phone on the charge and do a little work, and I'll be back with you. But right now we have just the bare door panel. I've gone ahead and pulled the armrest off. If you can see here, we just got these little holes. All it is, you flip it over on the backside, and they're just like plastic welded. You just drill those out. There's one here, one here, one here, all these, and then these few in the middle, and then those just come right off. I did the same thing for this side. Flip it over. As you can see, it's just these. Just hit it with a drill, whatever size drill bit you got, and they just come right off. But we're gonna have an 8 here, 6.5 here, and then we're gonna do the tweet here. We're just trying to keep it a little basic, you know, the seats here, and then I would like to put it here, but it's manual windows and the crank would be in the way, and so we're just going to put them up here. This is where my buddy wanted them, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get this this little armrest piece mount cut off, and then we'll get some tape laid down and mark everything out, and then hit it with some resin and some cloth. And then I'll be right back with you guys after a little charge. All right, so we went ahead and we've got the pieces cut off here. Go ahead and flip the camera around. All right, so as you guys can see, we got the little pieces cut off. They're over there. That's gonna give us a nice flat area right here. We're gonna bring our pods down, straight across, up. We're gonna follow this line that comes right here. We're going to follow this line all the way around. We're going to get our pods made up, and then once the pods are made and everything's fiberglassed up here in the place where it needs to be, then we'll end up cutting this piece out that we don't need and figuring out what we need to cut here, just so that there's no recess issues with the speakers. The pods will be off far enough that the door won't have to be cut, because it is manual windows, you know. You can't cut much out here because that's where the glass is. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these masked off, and then I'll get back with you guys to let you know what's going on. All right, so as you've seen there in our time lapse, we got our doors taped up. I'm going to go ahead and draw the shape that I'm looking to get out of the door panel for our pod. And then it'll be time to, I guess, put some resin on it and some cloth, and then we'll get busy. There's our template, or not our template, but where the actual, we're going to lay our frame. It's going to come down here, across, up, and then across the top, we're going to lay some strips of cloth and resin, and then I'll just have to let that cure overnight, and then tomorrow we'll pop them off and we'll go ahead and we'll start cutting some rings, and then I guess we'll stretch some fleece and go from there. But I'm going to go ahead and get this marked off, take my time, get it as close to identical, because I mean, you want your doors to be as close to identical as possible. So I'm going to take my time with my marker, and we're going to go ahead and lay out our shape, and then we'll throw in another time lapse of some resin, and then it'll be, let it cure all night long. I had to turn the heat off. It's hot as hell in here. But we'll go ahead and jump in that time lapse of getting it marked out so you guys can see what I do. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not a pro. I'm just a guy out here in his garage putting in work. But hopefully, my videos will help somebody that wants to attempt to do it with themselves. I mean, I feel like I do a pretty damn good job at it. So hopefully my videos help. But anyway, here's that time lapse. right, so as you guys seen in that time lapse, I got the fiberglass cloth laid out here. Oh shit, what is that? What is that? No, that's on the other side, it don't matter. I got the cloth, fiberglass cloth and resin for the frame laid out. It's a good 4 layers, 5 in some places. So it's gonna be plenty strong enough. Once it's cured in the morning, I'll go ahead and pop it off the frame. We'll trim it along our line, and then we'll set it on the door. You get a good feel for it. Make sure everything's like it's supposed to be, and then we'll go into cutting rings, mounting our rings, stretching our fleece, things like that. But I'll just go ahead and show you real quick. As you can see, we've got our line all the way around. What I'll do tomorrow is with the cutoff wheel, I'll cut that line out once this is good and cured. Got both doors here. We'll just be following that line all the way around. Once this is cured, I'll go ahead and I will pre-drill my holes because there will be bolts holding this to the actual door panel. And once this is all trimmed out, I mean, I'll go over every stage of the process. A lot of people, you know, that they're like, oh, hey, we made some door pods, and they'll show you what they made. But not a lot of people that actually do this or semi know what they're doing or know what they're doing will share the entire process because they think, you know, hey, if I show somebody else how to do it, they won't bring it to me to do it. But that's not the case. Some people like to do things, and some people like to pay other people to do things. I mean, there's both people in the sport. So I mean, I don't mind showing the way that I do it because I mean, everybody does it different. This is just the way that I do it, and it works good for me. So this will be part 1. Part 2, like I said, will be trimming this and putting our baffle or rings or whatever you want to call them, putting those on for the mids, and then we'll be stretching fleece, more fiberglass resin. We'll put some fiberglass mat on the back side of that. We'll go ahead and we'll sand it smooth, we'll Bondo it, and I think we're gonna paint these. I'm not exactly sure what he wants to do, but when we get there, we'll figure that part out. We'll go ahead and show you the other thing in the background that I was gonna show you, that I told you that I would show you, and that's a box that I built for a buddy of mine. It's a center console box for a 1500 Chevy, but I'll go ahead and show you that now. It is a center console box for a newer, not exactly sure, I think it's like a 12 or 15 Chevy 1500. As you will see these screw holes here, those really, we weren't worried about filling those because those are all hidden by the seat. I mean, I know, you know, let me fill in everything, but this was a budget box that he wanted built. And as you can see here, we've got the old school MTX RFL in it. It's ported at the bottom. This part will be backwards, so you'll be sitting in the truck like this. You've got your stainless steel cup holders, a little pocket there to put stuff. It was Raptor linered. It's got shit on it, but it all wipes off. Not a big deal. I mean, for a box that was made out of nothing purely but scrap wood, I'm completely satisfied with it. I can't wait to get this truck, get it hooked up, see what it sounds like. But I'll show you guys that once it's installed. You know, we'll do a little demo video. But I mean, that's about it. I've done a little bit more work on the Civic, but it monsooned here for like 3 days, and I didn't really want to come out here. The rain kind of demotivates me. But tomorrow is supposed to be a nice 55, 60 degrees. I might go out and work on the shop a little bit, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start working on the Civic. Ray comes over tomorrow, he'll get some work done on the Tahoe. And like I said in a previous video, we will be building a box for one of these Soliberic L715s to go in the Yaris. I mean, it's not like a, whoo, I got a badass speaker, but it's just a little budget, a little something in the daily. But if you like what you see, be sure to smash that subscribe button, give a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, and I'll holler at you in the next video, guys. I'm out.